Welcome to tonight's 5 on 5. I'm joined by Travis Kelly. He's a water master with the Oregon Water Resources Department. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Okay, so Travis, for those of us who may not be absolutely familiar with the roles of a water master, what is it that you do?
I protect and promote responsible water management in my district, District 13, Jackson County, by regulating the use of water based on senior water rights as well as compliance with Oregon water law.
Okay, so what water do you oversee? Are we talking rivers? Are we talking streams?
That's a great question. All water in the state of Oregon is a public resource, and the use is regulated by state law. So my agency, the Oregon Water Resource Department, oversees the use of both surface and groundwater. And
what are we looking like so far this year? I know summer is just around the corner. It's coming up. People are talking about the drought. There was, drought declarations all across the state.
Yeah, so at this point, we've been lucky enough to have a couple weeks of rain, so the stream flows are looking okay today. Overall, though, we're looking at very low stream flow levels throughout the summer because of the overall lack of snowpack that we experienced this winter. So it's going to be looking like a long, hot, dry summer.
And I know last year we experienced drought conditions as well. Is this typical? Have you seen this before, where we experienced a drought back-to-back with yet another drought? Does it have you concerned?
It's definitely concerning. Generally speaking, there is a cycle of droughts every 10 years. We generally get a drought. This scenario where our water, the precipitation we had this year is very close to average, but with the temperatures being so warm, there was no snow. That's the alarming scenario to me, where you don't know what the future holds. So on my end, I'm charged with managing the available water, so I try to take it one day at a time. But looking into the future, I think that's what these opportunities allow us, is to emphasize conservation and planning for the future.
And I mean, obviously, none of us can see what the future holds, but you had said that droughts come in cycles.
Yeah.
Would it surprise you if we came up on another drought next year? Do you see this as a trend?
Hopefully we're going to get lots of snow and rain next winter. I would be disappointed to see another year of drought just because of the hardship people experience who are adversely affected by it. But I don't have a crystal ball, so I have my fingers crossed.
Okay, well, stay with us. We'll be back with much more. Stay with us. Welcome back. Again, I'm joined by Travis Kelly. He's a water master for the Oregon Water Resources Department. And we were just talking about the drought that we're experiencing. California, massive drought over there. They have some water restrictions. Do you foresee any water restrictions for the state of Oregon?
At this point, there are no water restrictions. I'm really trying to publicize conservation on an individual level to really encourage people to take those proactive steps so that level of emergency doesn't happen. When we talk about restrictions, it's really based on the place you get water from. If you're within a municipal water supply area, the supplier can adjust the rates or encourage conservation through that sort of conservation mandate. When we talk about individual water rights, there is no mandate at this point on conservation, and water rights are based on a priority basis on the age of the water right, or the oldest water right having priority.
Okay, and how is the distribution of our water resources decided?
That's a great question, and it follows Western water law, which the quote is first in time, first in right. So the oldest water right is entitled its full amount before any other water right can be satisfied, and that goes on through its hierarchy of time to today's date. So that's how our area from the Rockies to the west was settled, and the waters were allocated according to the first or oldest water right is entitled to the water first.
Okay, and how do you make sure that's being honored? How do you enforce it, I guess?
Yeah, that's a great question. So when we deal with water scarcity, which in our areas, even in a good year, there's limited watersheds, or undam regulated streams definitely have the ability to have seasonally low periods. That's based on validating the call for water. So we look at the available water resource versus the consumptive demands on it. And if there's more water than demand, there is no distribution required other than verifying people are within the rates of their water right. If it diminishes, we look at the priority and say there's a certain amount of water entering the system and it can only satisfy people with a priority that's older than 1950. We contact all the users with a junior priority date and notify them that they have to turn their pumps or their diversions off. And then working with those landowners in a collaborative manner, we enforce that mandate. And then through our field presence, we also have a series of stream gauges that are available online to ensure that that water is available for the senior priority basis.
Okay, well, very interesting information I'm sure many of us didn't know about. Thank you so much again for joining us.
Anytime.
Stay with us, we'll be right back.